Hi, everyone. Long time no see. Finally, I'm back with a new video. Actually, this is the first video of a 30-day series. And this will be a series on productivity. And I will give you 30 tips, 30 pieces of information. Probably it will be more than 30 pieces, but you got the deal. One video a day in the month of July 2023. So without further ado, first of all, who am I? I am Dr. Özgün Ünver, and I'm a stress and burnout coach for academics. And my practice is called Mind Your Own Revisions. And today's topic is productivity. Well, basically, we will spill the tea on productivity. And the T that will spill, it stands for time, energy, and attention. So, as you know, probably, unless you're living in the moon, productivity is very much related to time management. And everybody talks about time management in order to be productive, right? But we forget the two other important aspects of productivity, which are energy management and attention management. So today I will talk about these three pillars of productivity. I have a lot of notes, 4 pages, so I will go through them with you. Let's start with time management, the most known one, let's say. So as you know already, time management is about like planning tasks and organizing your time around these tasks. And the point is to use optimally the limited time that we have. You know, time is considered, and actually it is a limited resource, right? So you need to plan it, you need to optimize the use of it in order to achieve anything in life, especially in this day and age. So time management also is closely linked because of that to setting priority, because we can't do everything at the same time, not even one after the other. We always have to choose, right? And once we set those priorities, we need to estimate how much time a certain task is going to take so that we can plan it in our agenda, right? So there's this estimation aspect of it as well, which comes with time, with practice. And I will talk about that probably on a later date, but time blocking is one of my favorite methods of time management. Also, the Pomodoro technique is one of my favorite time management techniques. And those are quite widely known, but we will come to those anyway. Let's talk about energy management now, which is more about optimizing and continuously replenishing our energy levels. So like throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, the year, throughout our lives, this is how it goes. So energy management is super important for your productivity, but also for your well-being. I say this a lot. Probably I mentioned this before in another video or a podcast or somewhere else, but burnout is also called an energy disorder, right? It's not a mood disorder. It's not a mental illness. Burnout, closest you can bring burnout to these disorder of something, that would be energy. And that comes from this very simple idea. I will take my pen again. The balance between energy givers and energy takers. So if you have a lot of energy takers in your life, the energy users, energy depleters, and you don't have enough energy coming in to balance that out, you will also end up burnt out. What are these energy givers? Let's talk about those for a second. So obviously everyone knows that sleep, right? Rest, good nutrition, exercise, play, hobbies, art, music, like family, friends, socializing, like everything we love doing, everything that fills us up. Think of it that way. On the other hand, we have energy takers. And the first one that comes to the mind is, of course, work, right? It's typically considered an energy taker and an energy depleter, but it doesn't have to be. But okay, that's for another discussion. Let's say that all of the shoulds, all of the have tos in our life goes in the more like this energy taker basket, like doing your taxes, for instance, unless you love doing your taxes. Of course, that's an energy giver for you in that sense, but for most of us, it's an energy taker, right? So another one could be care work, producing something that will be judged, right? If you're writing a thesis, this could be that. If you're writing a book, this could be that. If you are writing an article, a journal article, that could also be an energy taker from you. If you're in business, clients, maybe energy taking. If you are a professor, students may deplete your energy. And if you're a student yourself, studying and exams will be the energy takers, of course. So what's important here is the awareness of your energy levels. And based on that awareness, knowing when you have how much energy, choosing the task that you want to perform in that moment according to your energy level. So if you're already feeling a little bit depleted, like towards the end of the day, you don't start I don't know, doing something that requires a huge focus, right? It's not a good idea. You will have to work twice as hard for that. And another tip around energy management would be to take regular breaks, of course. Well, everybody says that, but it is very much underrated. So I will say it again, take regular breaks. Taking regular breaks does not mean taking like a 5-minute break every hour. It may look different for every one of us. For me, it's taking a break every 20 minutes, for instance, with my attention deficit problems. So everybody is different. Just know yourself, know your needs, and act accordingly. And also don't forget that rest comes in different flavors as well. It's different for everybody. So you need to know, again, via self-awareness, what gives you rest, what gives you energy. And finally, one thing I want to say about energy management is that it requires a lot of adaptation. So it's not like you closely observe yourself for a little while and then you say, okay, this is like how my energy works, right? No, it doesn't work that way. Our energy levels change throughout the day, throughout the week, the month, especially if you're a woman with the hormones and everything, or your cycle throughout the year, throughout your life, of course. And with every big event that's happening, our energy levels will change and we will have to adapt the way we work based on that. And finally, a bit about attention management. So this one is the A of the T, which has to do with concentration and focus, of course. Let me be more clear about that. Your ability to concentrate and to focus. And attention is that little glue that puts energy and time you spend on this particular thing together. And it's like, that creates the spark, that makes you perform. Attention, your focus in that moment, the performance also comes from that. And it has to be intentional and it has to be purposeful. So if you're not going to pay attention to what you're going to do, you can spend all the energy and time on something, it's not going to get done. What is important with attention management? Balancing deep work and shallow work, for instance. How do you do that? Again, as I said, you are aware, ideally, of your energy levels. But on top of that, you also know your personality a bit, your biological rhythm, your circadian rhythm. Are you a night owl? Are you an early bird? At what times of the day are you more productive? Is it easier for you to focus? Or at which days of the week? That can also have an effect. Which seasons, right? So ideally, you should know these moments where you can easily focus, or let's say easier focus, and then do the deep work then. And don't try to do deep work when you know that you won't have the attention for it because it's already depleted for the day. And very, very, very important, unless you didn't know, multitasking is a myth. Multitasking does not exist. It is actually task switching, context switching every time. So always go for single tasking and aim to get to a state of a flow in that single tasking session period. Then go for it instead of context switching, because once you switch the context or the task you do, until you get back your focus, it might take you up to 21 minutes. That also is the case when we get distracted with a little ping from our phones. So be careful with that. This was the topic of today, the differences between time, energy, and attention management, and that we need to be careful about all three of them for best productivity. See you next time. Until then, mind your own revisions.